Good afternoon, traders. This is Bill Baruch with Blue Line Futures, and this is the FX Rundown. We have a bounce-back session for the euro on solid progress with Brexit. This has helped the market bounce back, but also you had St. Louis Fed President James Bullard speaking dovishly. He's been known to do so, and that weakened the dollar. But what it builds is a big emphasis on the data coming out of the U.S. over the next 48 hours. ADP payrolls early tomorrow morning, 7:15 a.m. Central Time, gives you an early look on jobs. The official number, non-farm payroll, wage growth, is going to be what everybody's watching, comes out on Friday. Later in the day tomorrow, ISM non-manufacturing, the services sector. This is going to be a big read. We watch this one very closely. With the dollar weaker on the session, it's going to bring a big emphasis on data as it comes back into the picture. But again, Brexit, positive news on Brexit has helped move the euro back above 116.40. This is a big level we're watching as resistance. The move against support last night and on the session from Monday and Tuesday, that was big, a big hold around 115.40. So now we've moved back about a penny off of there. And what we're watching is if it can continue to move through 116.40 and get a firm move near about 117, you have a cup and handle formation in development. And then what it matters is if we can move out above major 3-star resistance, that could start to gather steam to the upside. And guess what? This big data over the next 48 hours is enough to either send it higher or send it lower. So you want to make sure you manage risk as we look into this. Now, wage growth is what it all comes down to. We'll talk more about it tomorrow as that gets closer on non-farm payroll on Friday. Moving on to the yen, though. We are neutral to the yen, but it remains weak as you have it below the 90 mark. With equities a little bit on the fritz here today, you're starting to see some weakness in the S&P, another big down day in the NASDAQ, and the yen could not come alive even when the dollar's down. That's a negative sign there. So keep an eye on for the yen, and ultimately it looks like a path of least resistance might be lower. We remain neutral for now, but again, it looks like it wants to head lower. And now we got the commodity currencies, the Aussie and the Canadian. Now, the one thing we know about the Aussie is we have major 4-star resistance well below. And the other thing I guess you know, blowout GDP yesterday, beat expectations. So you combine the two on a technical and fundamental basis, you should find some support down here. However, the trade talks around the world and potential of slowing growth with the international disputes, China and the U.S., most importantly, it's going to weigh on the Aussie dollar. And that's important to watch. But if we can see any light at the end of the tunnel, the Aussie does look like it should respond from this big level of support just below the market. So watch out for that. Now with the Canadian dollar, the same thing. We have talks with the U.S. and Canada that are dragging out. What we do know, though, is the Canadian dollar is battling at support right around the 75.60 area. That's going to be key for this to continue to hold. The Bank of Canada did meet today, and we did not really get anything out of them to move the markets, but it's going to be a bigger emphasis on the jobs data as the week unrolls. So ultimately, again, watch this 75.60 area, and if it can continue to hold it, there is really good long-term value at this level, but you're going to have to withstand what we see coming from the U.S. and Canada trade talks. Give us a call. We're here to help with anything on the market, anything on the board, 312-278-0500. You can email us info@bluelinefutures.com. Check our website for updates, and you can sign up for a free trial of our research there. But remember, futures trading involves substantial risk of loss. It's not suitable for all investors. Thank you.